Hello everyone, welcome back to Della Debt Payoff. Today's video will be budgeting mine and my husband's September 5th paycheck. I thought we would do something a little different besides just looking at our debt and our debt payoff strategies. And I know I enjoy watching paycheck budgeting videos and to see how other people distribute their money, what other people's expenses are, and I just figured that would be something fun for you all. And so be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it, and please subscribe to my channel. So this would be the September 5th paycheck. This is the first of 2 paychecks we'll receive in September. We get paid every other week. My husband's pay period is a little different from my pay period, so I'm not going to be actually putting the actual pay period dates in here. I'll just be putting the paycheck date. So the first income source for the 9/5 paycheck is my own paycheck, and that amount is $1,858.56. These boxes are a little small. I actually made this little template up earlier, so I might have to go back in and refigure this after this to see how it goes, just because my writing is kind of big. Making sure that the video is still focused. All right, then my husband's September 5th paycheck is $1,991.49. And my husband works part-time sometimes at another hospital, not all the time, so this is not a very this doesn't happen very much, getting a paycheck from this other job that he has, but he had a paycheck on the 9/5 from this job for $110.53. So our total income for the pay period was $3,960.58. Now that amount is pretty high. I don't consider ourselves low income earners at all. I know other people have it a lot harder than we do regarding income and getting by, but we also do have a lot of student loans from my husband's schooling that we're trying to get paid off. We have our mortgage, and we have 2 vehicle loans. So I'm very aware, cognizant of the income that we make. So I just wanted to address that now. All right, so any debt payments for this 9/5 paycheck, for my Honda loan, we don't usually pay that loan with the first paycheck of the month, so that amount is 0. My husband's truck loan, we paid that on the 5th, and we paid $570. Then my husband's student loan, these are currently in forbearance because he was on the SAVE plan, and those are going through litigation right now. So there's really no balance that needs to be, there's a balance, but there's no payment that needs to be made. But we're trying to be proactive on that, and we're paying $500 for that loan. And our mortgage, we do not pay that on our first paycheck. I do know people like to split up their mortgages between their paychecks just to make sure that they can save as much as they can on interest payments, but we currently are not doing that. So our current debt for the paycheck this month, for this paycheck, for the first paycheck of September, was $1,070. Investments, I have a Roth account that I contribute to on my own. My husband also has a Roth account, but it's also through his work, so they just automatically do it for him. My work does not offer that option, so I have to do that each month. And I just put $60 into that for 9/5. So total investments outside of what's already taken out for our retirement into our paychecks is $60. One of my goals for 2026 is to increase the amount that I'm putting into my Roth. Right now I'm not maxing it out, focusing more on higher interest debt. As we get that debt paid down, I would like to try to max out our Roth, but that's a big process. All right, for savings for this month, we have several different savings accounts. We have a home sinking fund. We have personal. My husband and I both have our own separate personal savings account that we put our own money into each month, just to have something to pull from for whenever we want to purchase something that we don't really want to use our shared money for, or not ask permission, but not have to talk about it and just say that money's ours and we're doing with it what we want. We also have our nest account, like a nest egg. And then for our dog, I make sure that we put a little bit in each month for whenever we have to go to the vet, order her medication. We use Chewy.com and just do auto ship to save like 5% on her meds. We have an emergency account. This is in a high yield savings account. We are not fully funded for a 6-month emergency, so that's also a goal that we're having right now. And then we have a vacation account that we do have an event that we're traveling to in February that we're trying to save up money for, to pay for everything for that, just to get that off. We didn't want to have to make monthly installment payments for that. So for the 9/5 paycheck, we contributed to our home sinking fund. So that's just if something would break around the house or we need to do repairs, that's where we pull our money from for that. And we put $160 here. Personal. So this is the total for myself and my husband into our own separate accounts. I won't go into detail of who puts what where, but it's $135 personal. We didn't contribute anything to our nest egg account for this paycheck. We do that the second paycheck of the month. Dog, we put $40 in here. And that's about what we put in for the month. It's just $40. Emergency, $0 for the 9/5 paycheck. And vacation for that trip coming up, $0. So for this 9/5 paycheck, we put $335 into savings. Okay. So going down to, I guess, this category labeled expenses, I might rework this and change it, break it out into expenses, but then also bills, because in here too, I have cell phone, internet, life insurance, electric bill. All of those bills have to be paid by a certain date each month. But then also I have groceries, gasoline, dining out, entertainment, and those are just purchased at various points of time throughout the month. But for now, is the first time working through this, I'll just leave this as is. So our cell phones, those are due on the 1st of every month, but I have worked it out so I would have put money aside on the last paycheck of the month before they're due to pay them. So this paycheck from September 5th, the September 1st cell phone bill was paid from the last paycheck in August. So $0 for our cell phones. Internet, that's set up on auto pay for $109.99. And that is due on the 7th of every month, so this was paid September 7th. Life insurance, $29.87. And that is paid on the 9th of every month, so September 9th. Subscription. So this is just all of our entertainment subscriptions. My husband has a car wash subscription, like iCloud storage, and then printer ink. I do a subscription for that. All of those added up, and they're all just obviously set to auto pay onto our credit card. So that total is $96.49. and I'll put a V for various in the date column. Now our electric bill, gas bill, and water bill, those are due at the closer to the end of the month, so I'm not going to put anything budgeted here for that. And our water bill's kind of interesting. It's paid to the city, and that also includes our garbage and we pay for like street cleaning, and that's paid every other month, billed every other month. So we don't have a water bill every month. So then groceries, this is, I guess, starting with just budgeting amounts for the month, because we'll be purchasing groceries once a week. I like to do a grocery shop at Aldi on Sunday. So groceries varies throughout the month, but roughly around $700 for myself and my husband. That is rather high. I have looked up at the USDA. They put out like a budget or to spend per adult in different income categories, or how much you want to spend. And I have looked it up, and roughly around for our age, it is $700. So it's not too off the mark from that. Gasoline, that also varies. This would be for my husband's car, my car, $350. Dining out, $150. I try not to do this too much. We don't like to eat out very often. We like to cook meals at home because it does add up quickly, and just it's not an expense that we put too much priority towards. Entertainment, $110. This would be books, or if we go to the movies or anything like that, or rent a movie at home and watch on the couch. We like to do that together. Clothes, I do have a weak spot for clothes. We'll put about $85. My husband goes through sneakers a lot with all the walking he does at work, so he gets a new pair every 4 months or so. Health, $300. We've had some medical visits lately, and we've had to pay up to the deductible for that. So $300, which is pretty high and not the norm for us at all. Gifts, we'll do $100. We had some birthdays this month and some wedding celebrations. Home items, this would be if we just, need, if I want to get like new decorations, or if we have to purchase a new vacuum, just appliances like that, we'll put $450 there. Dog, this would be varies. If we would get her new toy or food or anything like that, but that's $0 for this paycheck. Beauty, I do need a new tube of mascara, so I'm going to put $10 here. But it varies. And then for cars, and then insurance, this is like windshield wipers or oil change or anything like that. We have nothing planned for that coming up this month, for $0. Varies. And then car insurance, that's coming up soon, but not budgeted on this paycheck, so varies. Home improvements, this would be if we want to get a new screen, door, paint, mulch for outside, anything like that. We have nothing planned for this paycheck, so we're going to put $0 there. And then hobbies, $0 as well. I like to read, I like to knit. My husband likes to go hunting, so he likes to go shopping and get stuff like that. But just for this paycheck of September, it's $0. So all of our total expenses for our monthly bills, and then budgeted variable amounts. So this is kind of fixed and variable totals. It's not going to fit in that box right there. $2,491.35. Make sure you all can see that. There we go. So as just a summary here, our total income, $3,960.58. Expenses, $2,491.35. Savings, it's a very measly amount, $335. Debt payments, $1,070. And my small contribution to my Roth at $60. So the total / net amount, because it's not really a total, what we have left over is $4.23. As you can kind of see, I like to do a zero-based budget. Everything needs a home. I'm not going to go out and relocate these $4.23 or anything. I guess under notes, with our credit card, we do get cash back. And I don't save those for anything. I use them to pay towards each month's bill. And in September, in the September month, we had $27.63 on our credit card that is just reused to pay off that bill. I know a lot of people like to keep those and save them up for something special, but to me it makes the most sense to just use that to net against the cash owed, and at the end of the day it works out for us. So I really enjoyed doing this and working through everything. I think I'll probably rework this template and make these boxes a little bigger. Maybe break out an expense category. Maybe one column here is fixed expenses like our cell phones and the internet, life insurance, and then more of a variable expense column for groceries, gas, dining out, entertainment, etc. This is a pretty big spend month here at $24.91.35. Well, not spend month, spend paycheck. I'd really like to get this number down to try to live more beneath our means and focus on our debt. As you know from my channel name, we're really trying to get this debt going, do more of a snowball method, and then work to get my Roth and my husband's Roth potentially maxed out, which the contribution limit is $7,000 up to a certain point of income for a married couple. I don't think we're going to be meeting that limit, but it is always something to be mindful for if you make more than what we do. And then after that, maybe potentially just, opening brokerage account, but that seems to be pretty far down the line with our debts and the interest rates related to those debts. So I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to doing the second paycheck in September 19th paycheck, and going through what we budgeted, what we spent, and go from there. So please like, subscribe, share, and I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Bye.